You're too weak for me, Liam. Emma sneered at a company gala, her lover by her side. I smiled calmly and replied, perfect, because HR just got my report on your meetings. Her face froze as I walked away. A perfect marriage shatters in one night. Will Emma's betrayal cost her everything? Liam swiped his keycard and pushed through the glass doors of his San Francisco tech firm, the hum of servers greeting him as he headed to his corner desk. At 34, he'd carved out a solid role as a software developer, respected for clean code and quiet reliability. His evenings were usually reserved for Emma, his wife of 5 years, who'd be waiting at their Mission District apartment with takeout and a plan for a cozy night. Tonight, though, the annual company gala loomed, and Emma had texted earlier, urging him to dress sharp and be ready for a big night. Her enthusiasm fell off, like a chord struck slightly out of tune, but Liam chalked it up to her excitement for the event. He arrived at the gala, held in a sleek downtown venue, the air buzzing with chatter and clinking glasses. Emma, a 31-year-old marketing manager, thrived in these settings, her charm drawing colleagues like moths to a flame. Liam scanned the crowd, spotting her near the bar, laughing with her boss, Ryan. Their heads were close, her hand lingering on his arm. Liam's stomach tightened, but he brushed it aside, grabbing a craft beer from a passing server. He'd always trusted Emma's loyalty, built on years of small gestures. Her sneaking his favorite pastries into his bag, him planning surprise weekend hikes. Emma caught his eye and waved him over, her smile bright but brittle. Ryan, tall and self-assured, smirked as Liam approached. Liam, good to see you, Ryan said, his tone clipped, like he was addressing an intern. Emma's eyes darted between them before she spoke. Liam, we need to talk. Alone. Her voice carried an edge, sharp enough to slice through the gala's noise. Liam nodded, following her to a quieter corner, the music fading behind them. She didn't waste time. I'm done with this, Liam, she said, her words landing like a slap. You're too passive. I need more. Liam's grip tightened on his bottle, but he kept his face steady. More what, Emma? He asked, voice low. She hesitated, then plunged forward. Ryan gets me. He's bold, decisive. He says our marriage is holding me back. I deserve passion, not just comfort. Liam's pulse quickened, but he stayed silent, letting her words spill out. She admitted to weeks of late-night talks with Ryan, his mentoring turning into flirty texts, then stolen moments in his office. He says you'd be okay with this, she added, almost pleading. That you'd want me to be happy, even if it's with him. Liam's mind raced. He'd noticed Emma's late hours, her distracted glances at her phone, but he'd trusted her explanations. Work stress, big projects. Now, the pieces clicked. Ryan's lingering looks, Emma's sudden distance. You've already crossed lines, Liam said, his voice cold. How far? Emma's eyes flickered with guilt. Just talks and one kiss in his car last week. Nothing more, I swear. Her defiance crumbled slightly, but she pressed on. Ryan's waiting outside. He wants to come home with us tonight, to show you how it could be. The words hit like a freight train. Liam's jaw clenched, but he didn't flinch. He'd always let Emma steer their smaller choices, where to eat, what shows to binge, because her joy lit up his world. But this was betrayal dressed up as liberation. You think I'd just nod and let this happen? He asked, his tone sharp enough to make her step back. Emma faltered, then doubled down. Ryan says you're not like him. He's an alpha, Liam. You're not. He thinks you'd like this dynamic. Liam's anger flared, but he buried it under icy control. He'd seen Ryan's type before. Arrogant, manipulative, preying on trust. Ryan's outside now, he confirmed, glancing at the exit. Emma nodded, misreading his calm as surrender. I'm going to freshen up, she said, turning toward the restroom. We'll talk more at home. Liam watched her go, his mind already shifting gears. He pulled out his phone, opening an encrypted folder he'd started weeks ago when Emma's late nights first raised flags. Screenshots of her texts with Ryan, time-stamped company emails, even security logs showing their after-hours office visits. He'd hoped he was wrong. Now, he knew he wasn't. Slipping through the crowd, Liam approached the HR director, Sarah, who was chatting near the dessert table. Got a minute? He asked, his voice steady but urgent. She nodded, sensing his tension, and followed him to a quiet hallway. I need you to see this, Liam said, handing her a USB drive. Ryan's been inappropriate with Emma. It's all here, text logs, proof. Sarah's brow furrowed as she pocketed the drive. I'll review it tonight, she promised. If this checks out, we'll act fast. Liam returned to the gala, his heart pounding, but his resolve firm. Emma was back, laughing with Ryan again, oblivious to the storm brewing. Liam caught Ryan's eye and held it, his stare unwavering. Ryan smirked, raising his glass, but Liam saw the flicker of unease. He wasn't the passive man they assumed. Emma thought she'd rewritten their story, but Liam was about to take back the pen. Liam stood at the edge of the gala, the thrum of music and laughter fading as he watched Emma glide back toward Ryan. Her earlier words burned in his chest. She dismissed their 5 years of marriage as comfort and bought into Ryan's twisted narrative. Liam's phone vibrated. A text from Sarah, the HR director. Files received. Reviewing now. Stay put. He pocketed the device, his plan in motion. Emma's betrayal had ignited a fire, but Liam's response would be calculated, not reckless. Ryan, leaning against a high-top table, whispered something to Emma, who giggled and glanced toward Liam. Their confidence grated, assuming he'd crumble under their bold display. Liam moved toward the exit, signaling to a colleague to keep an eye on the pair. He needed air and a moment to strategize. Outside, the San Francisco night was crisp, the city's lights glinting off Ryan's Tesla parked curbside. Liam noted the license plate, snapping a quick photo. Evidence mattered now. Back inside, Emma approached, her steps purposeful. Liam, let's go home, she said, her tone a mix of defiance and expectation. Ryan's driving us. We'll talk there. Liam raised an eyebrow, keeping his voice even. You're sure about this? Inviting him into our home? Emma nodded, mistaking his calm for compliance. It's what I want. You'll see it's better this way. Liam's jaw tightened, but he followed her to the car, his mind racing. He wasn't playing their game. He was rewriting the rules. In the Tesla, Ryan took the driver's seat, Emma beside him, while Liam slid into the back. The tension was palpable, Ryan's smug glances in the rearview mirror meeting Liam's steady stare. Relax, man, Ryan said, accelerating through the city. This'll be good for all of us. Liam didn't respond, his fingers discreetly tapping a recording app on his phone. Every word could be leverage. Emma, oblivious, chatted about the gala, her voice light but strained, as if convincing herself this was normal. At their Mission District apartment, Ryan parked and turned to Liam with a patronizing grin. You're cool with this, right? Emma says you're adaptable. Liam leaned forward, his voice low and sharp. I'm adaptable, Ryan, but not spineless. Step inside, and we'll see who's calling the shots. Ryan's grin faltered, but he followed Emma to the door, assuming control. Liam unlocked the apartment, letting them in, his plan crystallizing. Inside, Emma kicked off her shoes and headed to the kitchen, grabbing a bottle of wine. Let's make this easy, she said, pouring 3 glasses. We talk, we set boundaries, we move forward. Liam took a glass but didn't drink, his eyes locked on Ryan, who sprawled on the couch like he owned the place. Boundaries? Liam asked, his tone deceptively mild. Like the ones you broke with him already? Emma froze, the glass halfway to her lips. Ryan chuckled but sounded forced. She told you about the kiss. No big deal. It's a big deal to me, Liam said, setting his glass down. He pulled out his phone, opening the encrypted folder. And these texts, weeks of them, aren't just a kiss. Neither are the office security logs showing you two alone after hours. Emma's eyes widened, her hand trembling. You been spying? Liam shook his head. I've been protecting myself. You forced my hand. Ryan stood, his posture shifting to intimidation. You're out of your league, Liam. Back off, or I'll make your life hell. Liam didn't flinch. Threats don't work when I've already sent everything to HR, he said, holding up his phone. And I'm recording this. Want to keep talking? Ryan's face tightened, his bravado cracking. Emma stepped between them, her voice shaky. Liam, stop. This isn't you. Let's just talk. But Liam was done talking. He opened the front door, gesturing to Ryan. Leave. Now, or I hit send on an email to the board, your investors, and your LinkedIn network. Ryan hesitated, then scoffed, grabbing his keys. You're making a mistake, Emma. He's nothing. He stormed out, the Tesla's engine roaring as he peeled away. Emma sank onto the couch, her confidence shattered. Liam, I thought this would excite us. Ryan said. Liam cut her off. Ryan's a predator, and you fell for it. You broke her trust. He grabbed a duffel bag from the closet, tossing in Emma's essentials. Laptop, charger, a few toiletries. You're leaving tonight. Emma's eyes filled with tears. I didn't sleep with him, Liam. It was just talk, one kiss. I swear. Liam paused, his anger warring with pain. You plan to bring him here, into our home. That's not just a kiss. He zipped the bag and set it by the door. Go to a hotel, Emma. We're done for now. She stood, pleading. I was wrong. Please, let me stay. We can fix this. Liam shook his head, his voice firm. You made your choice. Now live with it. As Emma grabbed the bag and stepped outside, Liam's phone buzzed again. Another text from Sarah. Evidence is damning. Ryan suspended, effective immediately. Meeting tomorrow to discuss Emma's role. Liam locked the door behind her, the click echoing in the silent apartment. He wasn't the passive man they'd painted him as. Tomorrow, he'd face the fallout, but tonight, he'd reclaimed his dignity. The game wasn't over. Emma and Ryan would soon learn the cost of underestimating him. Liam woke to the buzz of his phone at 6 a.m., the San Francisco dawn casting a gray glow through his apartment's windows. Sarah's message was blunt. Board meeting at 9. Be there. Ryan's fighting back. Liam showered quickly, his mind sharp despite the sleepless night. Emma's betrayal had left a raw ache, but Ryan's attempt to spin the narrative fueled his resolve. He grabbed his laptop, double-checking the encrypted folder with the evidence, screenshots, logs, and now last night's recording. He wasn't just protecting himself anymore. He was dismantling a predator's game. At the tech firm's headquarters, Liam navigated the glass-walled lobby, ignoring the curious glances from early arrivals. The boardroom was already tense when he entered, Sarah at the head, flanked by 3 executives. Ryan sat across, his posture rigid, a lawyer at his side. Emma wasn't there. Sarah had texted earlier that she'd been placed on leave pending the investigation. Liam took a seat, his expression neutral, but his pulse racing. Sarah opened with a nod. Liam, you submitted serious allegations. Walk us through it. Liam connected his laptop to the projector, displaying a timeline of Ryan's messages to Emma. Flirtatious at first, then explicit, paired with security logs showing their late-night office meetings. He played the Gala recording, Ryan's voice clear. You're out of your league, Liam. Back off. The room went silent as Liam detailed Ryan's manipulation, framing it as workplace harassment. He targeted my wife, abused his authority, and tried to intimidate me, Liam said, his voice steady. This isn't personal. It's professional misconduct. Ryan's lawyer jumped in, claiming the messages were consensual and private. This is a marital dispute, not a company issue, he argued, sliding a folder of printed emails across the table, curated exchanges that painted Emma as the instigator. Liam had anticipated this. He countered with metadata from the company's server, showing Ryan initiating most contacts, often during work hours. Consent doesn't excuse a boss exploiting his position, Liam said, locking eyes with Ryan, who shifted uncomfortably. Sarah leaned forward. Ryan, your response? Ryan cleared his throat, his confidence fraying. Emma pursued me. I got caught up, but I never crossed lines at work. Liam didn't hesitate, then explained the office keycard logs to A.M. Just you and her 3 times last month. The executives exchanged glances, one scribbling notes. Ryan's lawyer whispered urgently, but Ryan waved him off, his voice rising. Liam's blowing this out of proportion. He's jealous, insecure. Liam's phone buzzed. A private message from co-worker, Mia, who'd overheard Ryan bragging about taming Emma at a bar last week. Liam forwarded it to Sarah mid-meeting, her eyes narrowing as she read it. We'll need to verify this, she said, pausing the discussion. She dismissed Ryan and his lawyer, asking Liam to stay. You've got backbone, she said quietly. This took guts. Liam nodded, his focus unbroken. I just want accountability. By noon, Liam was back at his desk, the office abuzz with whispers. A new email from Sarah confirmed Ryan's immediate termination for violating company policy. Emma's status was trickier. Her role in the affair was under review, but her job hung by a thread. Liam's phone lit up with a call from Emma, which he let go to voicemail. Her voice was shaky. Liam, I'm at a hotel. I messed up. Please call me. He deleted it, his heart heavy, but his decision firm. He left work early, heading to a coffee shop to clear his head. There, he opened his laptop, drafting an email to a divorce lawyer recommended by a friend. Emma's actions, planning to bring Ryan into their home, dismissing their marriage, had shattered trust. Liam wasn't vengeful, but he wasn't a doormat either. He sent the email, then texted Mia, thanking her for the tip. Her reply was quick. You deserve better. Drinks with the team tonight? Liam hesitated, then agreed. Connection, not isolation, would carry him forward. Back at the apartment, Liam found a note slipped under the door. Emma's handwriting, begging for a chance to explain. He crumpled it, tossing it into the trash. His phone buzzed again, this time a text from Sarah. Emma's resigned. Effective immediately. Liam exhaled, a weight lifting. The board's swift action validated his stand, but the real battle, rebuilding his life, lay ahead. He grabbed his jacket, heading out to meet his co-workers. Ryan and Emma had underestimated him, but tonight, Liam was taking the first step toward a future on his terms. Liam woke to the faint hum of San Francisco's morning traffic, his apartment feeling emptier without Emma's presence. 3 days had passed since her resignation, and the silence was both a relief and a reminder of the life they built and lost. His phone showed no new messages from her, only a confirmation from his divorce lawyer, Karen, scheduling a meeting to discuss asset division. Liam brewed coffee, his focus shifting to the future. He'd exposed Ryan, secured justice at work, but now he needed closure with Emma. At noon, Liam arrived at a neutral coffee shop in the Castro district, chosen for its public setting. Emma was already there, seated at a corner table, her posture tense. She stood as he approached, her hands fidgeting with a napkin. Liam, thank you for coming, she said, her voice low. He nodded, taking a seat across from her, keeping distance. Let's make this quick, he said, his tone firm but not cruel. I've got a lawyer. We split the savings, sell the apartment, and move on. Emma's eyes welled up, but she didn't cry. I need to explain, she said, leaning forward. Ryan twisted my head. He made me think our marriage was stale, that I deserved more. I was stupid. Liam's jaw tightened, but he listened. She admitted to weeks of Ryan's flattery, his promises of excitement, and how she'd let it cloud her judgment. I never slept with him, she insisted. It was just that one kiss and some texts. I thought would wake us up. Liam's silence was deafening. You plan to bring him into our home, he said finally, his voice steady. You believe his lies about me being weak. That's not a mistake, it's a choice. Emma flinched, her hands gripping the table. I know I hurt you, she said, but I've lost everything, my job, my reputation. Ryan's blacklisted in tech now. Isn't that enough? Liam shook his head. This isn't about revenge, Emma. It's about respect. You didn't respect me, and I can't trust you. She reached for his hand, but he pulled back. I've started therapy, she said, her voice breaking. I'm trying to understand why I fell for his nonsense. I want to fix us. Liam's chest ached. Memories of their early years. Late-night talks, shared dreams, flashing briefly. But the image of her laughing with Ryan at the gala, dismissing their vows, snuffed them out. We're past fixing, he said. You chose a fantasy over our reality. I deserve better. Emma's shoulders slumped, but she nodded, accepting the finality. What now, she asked. Liam slid a folder across the table. Divorce papers drafted by Karen. Sign these, he said. We list the apartment next week. You keep your car, I keep mine. The savings split evenly. Emma opened the folder, her fingers trembling, then signed without protest. I'll always regret this, she whispered, sliding the papers back. Liam stood, leaving the folder with her. Goodbye, Emma. He walked out, the city's energy a stark contrast to the weight of the moment. Back at the apartment, Liam packed more of Emma's belongings, books, jewelry, a few framed photos, into boxes, arranging for a courier to deliver them to her hotel. His phone buzzed with a message from Mia, his co-worker. Team's meeting at the pier tonight. Join us. Liam smiled faintly, typing a quick I'm in. Socializing felt daunting, but isolation wasn't the answer. That evening, Liam met his colleagues at the Embarcadero, the bay's breeze cutting through the fog. Mia handed him a beer, her grin warm. You're a legend at the office, she said. Taking down Ryan like that? Epic. Liam shrugged, uncomfortable with the praise. Just did what was right, he said. The group's chatter, work gossip, plans for a hackathon grounded him. For the first time in days, he laughed, the sound surprising him. Later, alone at home, Liam opened his laptop, pulling up a real estate site. The apartment, once a symbol of their shared life, felt like a tether to the past. He emailed the lawyer, confirming his intent to sell, then browsed listings for smaller places in the city. A fresh start wasn't just a wish, it was a plan. His phone pinged again, A company-wide email from Sarah. New policies on workplace conduct effective immediately, thanks to recent events. Liam's evidence had sparked change, a small victory. Before bed, he found another note from Emma in his mailbox, a brief apology and a promise to stay away. He tossed it, feeling lighter. The pain of her betrayal lingered, but Liam's strength wasn't in anger. It was in moving forward. He booked a therapy session for the next week, determined to rebuild not just his life, but himself. As he closed his laptop, the city's skyline glowed outside, a reminder that new chapters awaited. Liam stood on the balcony of his new studio apartment in San Francisco's No Valley, the lease signed just hours earlier. 6 weeks had passed since his final meeting with Emma, and the sale of their old apartment had closed, splitting the modest proceeds. His phone buzzed with a calendar alert. A therapy session later that day, his third since the gala. He'd learned to name the ache, betrayal, not just by Emma, but by his own trust in her. Today, he'd focus on closing that chapter for good. At the real estate office, Liam met Karen, his divorce lawyer, to finalize the last documents. The divorce was uncontested. Emma had agreed to all terms, her signature already on the papers. Karen slid the file across the desk. "You're officially free," she said, her tone professional but warm. Liam signed, his hand steady, and handed back the pen. "Thanks for making this smooth," he said, standing to leave. Karen nodded. "You handled this with class. Not everyone does." Liam managed a half-smile, the weight of finality settling in. He drove to the Embarcadero, where Mia and a few co-workers had planned a lunch to celebrate his new start. The waterfront was alive with joggers and tourists, the bay glinting under a rare, clear sky. Mia raised a glass of iced tea. To Liam, who took down a creep and kept his cool, she said, sparking laughter from the group. Liam clinked glasses, grateful for their support, but eager to shift the focus. To new projects, he countered, referencing a coding initiative he'd pitched at work, a machine learning tool to flag workplace misconduct. The team toasted again, energized by his idea. Mid-lunch, Liam's phone pinged with an email from Sarah, the HR director. His project had been greenlit with a budget and a small team to lead. "Your evidence changed how we handle these cases," she wrote. This tool could prevent the next Ryan. Liam's chest swelled with quiet pride. His pain had fueled something bigger, a way to protect others. He replied, confirming his commitment, then rejoined the conversation, ideas for the project already sparking. Later, at his therapy session, Liam sat across from Dr. Chun, a calm presence who'd been guiding him through the fallout. "I don't hate Emma anymore," Liam admitted, leaning forward. "But I'm still angry at myself for missing the signs." Dr. Chin nodded, jotting a note. "You trusted her. That's not a flaw. It's human. What's next for you?" Liam paused, then spoke. "Leading this project, building a life that's mine. I want to trust again, but smarter." Dr. Chin smiled. "That's growth. Keep showing up." Back at his apartment, Liam unpacked a single box, books, a laptop stand, a photo of him and his parents hiking Yosemite. He'd kept little from the old place, donating most shared items to avoid reminders. His phone buzzed with a text from Emma, the first in weeks. "I'm moving to Seattle for a fresh start. I am sorry, Liam. I hope you find happiness." He read it twice, then deleted it without replying. Her words no longer held power. He'd given her 5 years of loyalty. Now, he owed himself the same. That evening, Liam joined a coding meetup at a local tech hub, a step toward expanding his circle. He pitched his project to a small group, their questions sharp and encouraging. A data scientist, Priya, offered to collaborate, her expertise filling gaps in his plan. They exchanged contacts, and Liam felt a spark of possibility. Not romance, but partnership, a reminder of his own capability. As he walked home, the city's fog rolled in, softening the skyline. Before bed, Liam checked his email. A realtor had sent listings for a small condo, a potential next step if his project succeeded. He bookmarked them, then opened a notebook, jotting goals. Launch the tool, mentor a junior coder, maybe take a solo trip to Japan. The betrayal had cracked his world, but it hadn't defined it. He closed the notebook, his mind clear. Emma and Ryan had gambled on his weakness, but Liam's strength, quiet, deliberate, rooted in integrity, had won. He turned off the light, the city's hum a backdrop to his thoughts. Tomorrow, he'd meet Priya to brainstorm, then pitch his project's timeline to Sarah. The road ahead was his to shape, built on respect for himself and a refusal to be diminished. As sleep came, Liam felt not just free, but whole.